I would like to wish everybody that's birthday is today. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Okay, Kian, who are we going to be talking about today?
Abdel, Adrian, Gorion's ward. He is 8 cents, 4 and a white. He's a 4/4 legendary creature, human warrior from Bordergate. When you enter the battlefield, exile any number of non-land permanents you control until you leave the battlefield. Create a 1/1 white soldier creature token for each permanent exiled this way, and he also has choose a background.
Okay, we will be getting to the background in a little bit. But first off, this card is very good for multiple reasons, between blinking cards, ETB abilities, and infinite combos. It is very difficult to go a whole game without an infinite combo. The ETB abilities will just start stacking on, and they will, in a matter of a couple turns, destroy your opponent. Okay, moving on to our second commander.
Candlekeep Sage. It's 5 cents and it's 2 and a blue. Commander creatures you own have, when this creature enters the battlefield or leaves the battlefield, draw a card.
Okay, now, obviously good for blinking your commander to draw because, this whole deck is about blinking. So, you're really just going to get so much value from this card. I've played against this deck multiple times, and with this, it is really just off the rocks. You can cycle through your deck because this deck isn't going to be very expensive between, price and the cost of the cards. And it's the top background for this commander. It really goes with the deck, and there's really no other background you could choose in this scenario. One of the new cards from Phyrexia All Be One has made it into the list of top cards. I would also like to note that these prices are the lowest prices we could find on TCG Player. Now, by the time you're seeing this, they most likely will vary from lower or higher prices. Kian, would you like to show us and introduce us to this hell of a card?
Yes, it is Elishnor, Mother of Machines. She is 4 and a white and she is $38. She's a legendary creature, Phyrexian Praetor. She has Vigilance, and if a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Permanents entering the battlefield don't cause abilities of your opponent's control to trigger. It's a 4/7.
Now, this card is amazing for so many reasons. Right now, we're mainly focused on the second ability, which I would say is the main ability. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a trigger ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. The other ability is just an add-on, I would say, for this deck. So, this is just something else. Next, we have Agent of Treachery.
5 and a blue, $5. It's a human rogue. When enters the battlefield, gain control target permanent at the beginning of your end step. If you control 3 or more permanents you don't own, draw 3 cards. He's a 2/3.
Okay, so if you keep blinking this, you can keep taking control of other people's cards. And, playing against this was... I don't even want to talk about it. It was just so amazing. I would put down a card and he just play down some 2-mana spell, blink it, and there you go. He's very good with infinite combos, and like I said earlier, there are tons of infinite combos in this deck. After a turn, you're basically just drawing 3 cards every single turn, because at 7 mana, you're normally pretty set up. Okay, second to last best card, Peregrine Drake. Kian, would you like to tell us a little bit about the card?
It's 4 and a blue, it's 10 cents. It's flying, and when it enters the battlefield, untap up to 5 lands. It's a 2/3.
Okay. It's a pretty self-explanatory card. Just whenever enter the battlefield, untap up to 5 lands. Normally, be pretty bad. You just get a 2/3 flying basically for free. I wouldn't recommend ever putting this into a deck because it takes away part of the 99. But in this deck, wow, it can really do something. Just keep blanking it over and over, get up to like 15 lands back, so you have a drawing combo. This card can really go places.
Our last top card is Cloud of Fairies. Kian, would you tell us about that one?
It's 1 and a blue, 9 cents. And it's when it's the battlefield, untap up to 2 lands as flying, and then a little add-on is as cycling too. And it's a 1/1.
Okay, so this card is just a cheaper version of Peregrine Drake. Now, is it better? It depends on the scenario. The untapping lands is nice. Just keep blinking it. You can keep playing cards because whenever you blink this, you get more lands, and obviously lands are spent to cast cards, if you didn't know that. So, pretty solid card. A side note to this deck is life gain. One example of that is Soul Warden. Keen, why don't you tell us what that does?
It's just 1 white and says whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. And this can also be your opponent's creatures, and it's a 1/1.
Okay, pretty straightforward card. You see this come down, you're probably just gonna start laughing, call him like a dimwit. Okay, because why would you ever play this card? Okay, and that's probably what you're thinking. I have seen this card gain so much life in games because, it just looks like nothing. Late game, you're going to possibly gain 5 life on a rotation. Okay, not the best. But in this deck, with all the blinking, this card can go hard, get you hard, and, so also with like an infinite loop, I've seen Kian go up to 300 life before I just quit. That's not a joke. This card is pretty straightforward, but it's good for what it's worth.
In an infinite combo, it allows you to get infinite life.
Literally,
yeah.
Yes.
But you can't do that.
Yeah, you're unkillable. If you have this card and you have the right cards to go with it, you're literally just unkillable.
Unless they have you win the game card.
Yes. More life gain. Just Johnny's welcome. Whenever creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. That's the same as Impassioned Orator. Boulder Branch Golem, whenever it enters the battlefield, gain life equal to its power. And Lunar Veteran is just like Impassioned Orator and a Johnny's welcome.
It also has Disturb, and there's a flip side, and it says whenever a creature leaves the battlefield, you gain 1 life, which that's the only case you're going to use that is if they kill him.
Exactly. So, the life game, pretty strong in this deck. Another aspect of this deck is control. One of the cards in this is Meteor Golem. Kian, why don't you tell us what that does?
It's 7 colors mana, and it's 8 cents, and it's an artifact creature. When it's the battlefield, destroy target non-land permanent opponent controls, and it's a 3/3.
Okay. Normally, pretty basic card. Just whenever its ability resolves, just a vanilla. But, in this deck, you just keep blinking it. You basically just don't care about your opponent's mental health. Like, if you play this card in this deck, you're telling them to die. It's also very controlling. They can't play anything. So, it's obviously very annoying to play against. Why don't you tell Kian that? But it's very controlling. You basically win if the opponent doesn't have a counter to this. And it just screws up opponents because they can't do anything. More to control is Reality Acid, is Vanishing 3, and whenever it leaves play, Enchanted Permanent's controller sacrifices it. Vanishing 3 is this permanent comes into play with 3 time counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove a time counter from it. When the last is removed, sacrifice it. Just you could just go 1 by 1 by 1 to all your opponent's creatures. Just blah, blah, blah. Okay. Lavania of the 10th. Can you want you tell us what that does?
It has protection from red. It's 3 or white and blue. And when it's the battlefield, detain each non-land permanent your opponent control with converted mana cost 4 or less. And detain means Until your next turn, those permanents can't attack or block, and their activated abilities can't be activated. It's a 4/4.
Okay, normally pretty bad card, but it's just annoying. I don't know why it has protection from red. That's stupid. But there you go. And then the Might Stone and the Weak Stone, I don't want to read that, but it's okay. So, unfortunately, we have more control. Cavalier of Dawn costs 2 white, white, white. It's an elemental knight creature, 4/6 with vigilance. And whenever it enters the battlefield, destroy up to one target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 colorless golem artifact creature token. Basically just a generous gift, but in a creature. Whenever it dies, return target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. No one cares about that at
Not
all.
a crucial ability.
Yep, it's
That's
trash.
not good in this deck. No,
It's
good.
not good in any deck.
Some decks.
No, it's as good as you playing football. Okay, Skyclave Apparition. Costs 1 white, white. It's a 2/2. It's a core spirit. Whenever it enters the battlefield, exile up to one target non-land, non-token permanent you don't control with converted mana cost 4 or less. Whenever it leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner creates an XX blue illusion creature token where X is a converted mana cost of the exiled card. Also, pretty bad card, but it's still control. And in this deck, it's really, really annoying. I mean, it costs 3 mana, just, pay some 2 mana blink card. It's just annoying, okay? You're going to destroy your opponents with this deck. Another card for control is Reflector Mage. Kian, you want to tell us what that does?
So, Reflector Mage. It's a 1 white and a blue. It's 40 cents. And whenever it's the battlefield, just return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. And they cannot cast that spell until your next turn. And it's a 2/3.
Yeah. So if you want no friends, make sure you play this deck. I mean, for Kian already has no friends, so it's okay for him. But personally, I would never play this deck. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, infinite combos. Okay, first piece to infinite combos is Glorious Protector. Kian, why don't you tell us what that does?
She's 2 white, white. She's 18 cents. She has Flash and Flying. And she enters the battlefield. You may exile any number of non-angel creatures you control until she leaves the battlefield. And she has Foretell, 2 and a white. And she's a 3/4.
Okay, so she's, you can have infinite combos with an extra piece, which we'll probably cover later, but also with the commander, and just exile back and forth and back and forth. And so, you just get tons of 1/1s, and you can override your opponent. It's just stupid. Now, moving on. More infinite combos. So, this will be cards that will go with other cards for infinite combos, or just cards themselves. Now, first off, we have Journey to Nowhere. Whenever it enters the battlefield, exile target creature. Whenever it leaves the battlefield, turn the exiled card to the battlefield under its owner's control. So just keep blinking that, and then whenever that comes back, do that all over again. There you go. You have other cards to blink. You basically easily create infinite combos. Detention Sphere. 1 white, blue. Enchantment. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you may exile target non-land permanent, not named Detention Sphere, and all other permanents with the same name as that permanent. Whenever it leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Basically just the same thing as Journey to Nowhere, but it's 1 more to cost. Okay, Mysterious Limousine. 3 white, white. It's a 4/4 artifact vehicle. And whenever it enters the battlefield, it attacks, exile up to one other target creature until it leaves the battlefield. If a creature is put into exile this way, return each other card exiled with him to the battlefield under his control. It is Crew 2. Basically, same thing. Ken, would you like to go over Fiend Hunter?
Yes, it's a 1 white, white. This is like the same idea as the other cards. And so basically, when it's the battlefield, you may exile another target creature. And when it leaves the battlefield, return the exile card to the battlefield owner's control. And it's a 1/3.
All right. Tips and tricks. Silly tricks is for kids. Okay, so Oblivion Ring costs 2 and a white. Enchantment. Whenever it comes into play, remove another target non-land permanent from the game. Whenever it leaves play, return the moved card to play under its owner's control. Basically, what we just went over. And
It's also an infinite combo piece, but older cards say remove instead of exile, but remove and exile are the same exact thing.
you can have tutors in this deck, which will help you, but I mean, like, get the cards that you need. I'd highly recommend that. I mean, those cards can cost anywhere from $20 to $40. So we didn't add them in here, but you can take permanents and therefore help out Agent of Treachery. You can also take lands. So if you want to be an annoying little loser, you can do that, just like Kian. So it's an infinite combo piece, and whenever it says remove target non-land permanent, it says non-land, so you can't take lands, but from the game, that means that it is going to exile. Just another way of saying it for older cards. And
you want to kill Candlekeep Sage and Agent of Treachery because they have a draw ability in every single draw card. So there are like Meteor Golem and will like destroy it for you. Because then you draw through your deck too much and you'll lose the game the next turn once you have your infinite combo.
Yeah. If you're looking at this deck, you might be thinking that, I see the potential, but you might not think it's the best. Like, why not just buy a Traxa and have everything given to you because you're an entitled loser? Well, I mean, that's what I thought, okay? And whenever I played this deck, I wanted to personally kill Kian. Now, I'm just having some troubles here, but that was just me. I mean, this deck is
Crazy.
Yeah. Okay, if you watched this far, I'm sorry, but thanks for the watch time. Reminder, happy birthday.